Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Roundup. We're getting an early start because there's a lot to do this week, so let's just keep on trucking. Kick us off. We've got Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo, number 3. Where we left off, Batman was following up on a text message received by the Joker, sent to the Joker about the Joker solving a riddle. Meanwhile, Nightwing and Alfred were studying the remains of a tooth that had been broken off in Batman's shoulder. But the tooth seemed to be growing, while also having to keep the Joker, prisoner within the Batcave. So Batman goes. The riddle is basically you have a wealthy couple, both with criminal histories, and their son, and it is which parent choose which parent lives or dies, and there are files on both of them. Batman reads over them, also filing the child. Apparently, the only pictures where the child's smiling or when he's with his aunt and uncle. Batman answers the riddle, saying that neither parent deserves to live. The intention being to get out of the cage he's trapped in and still save them. However, the two are killed because the deal was made with the Joker, not with Batman. After Batman returns to the cave, it turns out that the tooth was picked up by one of the bats in the cave, and it mutated the bat into a toothy smiling horror. But the mutation's unstable, and basically the new cellular structure is cannibalizing the previous one, so it'll soon enough be dead. On the subway, there's been a killing. Guy got up, got on the train, walked all the way back, and pulled another guy's head clean off before ripping a hole in the back end of the train car to get out. The head is then delivered by someone looking a bit like the Joker to provide an audience. Batman goes to visit the owner of a pharmaceutical company at the graveyard his parents were buried at. Maybe get some questions answered. But guy's in a bit of a combative mood. Talking with Bruce over the grave of his daughter. Understandably so. But Batman knows something is up. He has Joker move to the interrogation room, and all recording devices shut off. But he explains to Joker that, hey, you're working with me. You'll do exactly what I tell you when I tell you. If you don't, Batman will beat him to the point where Joker will wish he was dead. They go. They track down. They go to the. It turns out that the company that the guy Bruce Wayne talked to, their computers were hacked. An associate of Batman's, most likely Oracle, hacked their systems. However, some files, but not all. There's a firewall that can only be bypassed there. But including some things that were not in the initial reports. However, because of this, the industrialist that Bruce talked to has now decided to put Bruce Wayne on his list. And it seems he might be the one who pulled the guy's head off on the train. But that is where the issue ends. W has definitely been an interesting series so far. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Danger Street number 2. Where we left off at the end of the first issue, Warlord and Starman ran into the Good-Looking of the Dingbats, and Good-Looking was grievously injured. A manhunter showed up and promptly went on about his business. Reporter Jack Ryder was told to report on a terrorist group known as the Outsiders. So, Good-Looking died from his injuries. We get his funeral. Warlord and Starman are trying to lay low and figure out what to do, or what their next move is. A boat full of people is blown up by the Manhunter. The boat's destruction is accredited to the Outsiders by Jack Ryder. Lady Cop is investigating. He's trying to follow what few leads they have. Not really getting anywhere, but. Meanwhile, the Commodore, in charge of the group that pointed Jack Ryder at the Outsiders, is having a time with his buddies, while Jack, as the Creeper, is trying to get information about the Commodore. The Dingbats vow to kill the person that killed Good-Looking. And Lady Cop is having no luck at all following upon any leads. Starman says, "Hey, we could take the Helmet of Fate, figure out the right magic words, and bring the dead kid back to life." Because he's not supposed to be dead. Across the galaxy, Highfather of New Genesis has come to see Darkseid. And he tells Darkseid that Atlas the Great is gone and the sky is falling. Which leads to Darkseid approaching Highfather and embracing him. There's another explosion at an oil field, once again blamed on the Outsiders. Jack's talking with the Commodore. And the Commodore has the guy that the Creeper was questioning earlier, and has him killed. Meanwhile, Lady Cop's managed to get a lead. The big thing being that one of the guys in the car, older guy, gray hair, beard, all that, nothing to say up. But the other guy, he was blue. That is where the issue ends. Not sure where this is going, but I'm in for the ride. It's interesting so far. Tom King, I've been enjoying King's DC work of late. Moving on though to our next book, we've got The Human Target number 10. Where we left off, Chris Chance has 2 days to go. However, there was recently a communication that came up from Guy Gardner, who's supposed to be dead. But after Ice and Human Target spent the day together, they returned to their hotel. Well, the night and morning. And intending, with Ice intending for them to spend the day together. Target pours them each a drink, but he the Mickey and Ice's, and she falls asleep. So then he goes to talk to Gnort, wanting to find out what he can about Guy. There are records that the Guardians have on everybody, so no one's supposed to be taken in there, but without permission from the Guardians. But Gnort and Chance go through, end up on Oa. They find Guy's file, and he's not dead. Then Chris reads his own file. Yeah. Gnort is very drunk. Ganthet shows up and scolds Gnort for for not, at the very least, filling out the forms. Gnort presumably pukes at Ganthet's feet and then kicks Ganthet in the face, and the two of them head back to Earth, getting some food along the way. But then they know where Guy is, so they go to see him. He's about 20 minutes away from where he was supposed to seemingly killed. Playing pool. So, but Human Target recreates the old JLI one punch, and then follows it up with a second and a third. But and Guy is, even down to the "I'll give you a free one," takes the ring off. But after 3 punches, Guy's like, "Nah, putting the ring back on." Calls it back to him. But Human Target knows a few things about the ring, like how it'll protect someone from weaknesses they know about. But if it's a weakness that the ring doesn't know about, like, say, a peanut allergy, well... And Chance slaps when Guy goes to punch him. Human Target slaps Guy in the face with his hand covered in peanut butter. The peanut butter on Guy's mouth. But he's got an EpiPen. Wants to know how and why Guy's alive. And he'll give Guy the Epi shot. Back at the motel, Chance asks Ice, or runs his theory by Ice, and mainly that she convinced Guy to lay low for a while. And even saying, "Here's to us." And that is where the issue ends. We got 2 more issues to go. And this series wraps up. And it's been a good one so far. So, Tom King as well. Moving on, though, to our next book. Stepping away from DC to Boom with Something is Killing the Children, number 27. This was actually one of the books from last month that we weren't able to cover on a couple weeks ago. So, where we left off, Cutter, the Black Mass, sent to kill, take care of Erica, had made it to Tribulation, New Mexico. Ricky has a bit of a flashback to her girlfriend telling her she has cancer. Then she's debating what to do. Her and Gabby have, terse exchange. But the plan is they're going to go to they're going to go to the sheriff, and try and get him to help, or at least let them help before doing everything they need to do. And that's the plan Erica puts out, but Erica's octopus doesn't, kind of has a few things to inform Erica of. Meanwhile, Cutter is drawing out the monster. It kills, and then Cutter has it turn into what it fears most. That being Erica. And that is where the issue ends. Which will, of course, bring us to our next book. Something is Killing the Children, number 28. Ricky, Gabby, and Erica go to the sheriff's station. Erica explains that once she kills the monster, she's going back on the run. But they get to the sheriff's station, though. Erica is promptly arrested, while Ricky and Gabby are being held, presumably to be interrogated later. Erica tries to talk him out of it, but yeah, he's pretty much set on that. But Cutter shows up, knocks out the sheriff, well, pretty bad actually, and then has a chat about how things are going to go with Erica. Erica's just like, just do it now, just get it over with. But Cutter wants to hunt, you know. And apparently the cops outside, Cutter already killed them. And so, but Cutter explains she's going to tell the sheriff when he comes to that Erica knocked him out, then knocked her out, then killed his officers in the bullpen and escaped. And, well, Erica realizes that, yeah, that's what she's going to have to do. Or at least she's going to have to play the part of this, so. And that is where the issue ends. Things are looking tense. Eager to see where the book's going. Moving on to our last book, we had the one-shot Book of Slaughter. This is more of a source book. There is a brief story about one of the white masks becoming a black mask for within the house, because since Erica is gone, as is after what happened in Archer's Peak. With Erica being pretty much gone and Aaron being dead in Archer's Peak, so. But it is she's going to become a black mask instead of a white mask. Now the big thing in here is we get a lot of information about the Order of St. George. Selection process, totem process, sacrament of initiation, mark of the order, hunter's training. White masks are typically the largest branch of each house, requiring the most recruits. Pack hunters trained to work together as a unit to bring down the large monsters the order faces in its work. Black masks are the lone hunters of the order. They are trained to be self-sufficient in the field, capable of taking down a monster without housing assistance. The training is more rigorous, lonely work, and the heads of the Black Mask branch work diligently to only pick those suited to the solitary life required of them. The sacrament of the hunt, earning your teeth, apprenticeship, loss of sight. So at a certain age, on the cusp of adulthood, a person is no longer capable of seeing the monsters that stalk the world. First, the young hunters cannot see them in full. They seem like ghostly apparitions, only half visible and almost indistinguishable from the shadows. It becomes more difficult to hold them in the hunter's mind. One might forget having seen a monster only a few minutes later. This is why around the world, even adults who bear witness to monsters as children remember the encounters as nothing more than childish nightmares. It is only the fact that the hunters have spent their entire lives training for this moment that keeps them from rejecting the existence of monsters and turning their backs on the teachings of the order. There's the blind hunt. Young hunters apprentice, no longer capable of perceiving any monster with their own eyes, or capable of hearing the advice of their totem, must hunt and kill a monster alone. Even the white masks, trained to hunt together, cannot rely on their packs. And there's the Sacrament of Trepidation. We also have the Scarlet and Azure Mask. Scarlet Mask are the keepers of their house and its records. They make sure the house is in pristine condition. They're the cooks, housekeepers, maids, so on. The Azure Masks are the weaponeers. Ancient times, they crafted the tools by which hunters would hunt and kill monsters they faced in the wild. Modern times, where acquiring deadly weapons is not a matter of great difficulty, the Azure Masks have become the spy master of the Order. It is their duty, above all, to prevent the wider world from learning of these existence of monsters and the machinations of the Order. They infiltrate law enforcement, politics, and news organizations at their highest levels, keeping the great secrets intact. There's also information about advanced apprenticeship as well as silver and emerald masks. Silver masks are the specialist hunters. They must study a year of folklore and all its facets to determine from which belief structure that their target was manifested. In ancient times, silver masks were a larger aspect of the order, as larger percentages of the population believed in specific types of monsters: vampires, werewolves, changeling, and all manner of dark creatures. Emerald masks are the highest class of monster hunter within the order, and require the most training. They are the dragon hunters, following the steps of the fount of St. George himself. There are two ways to earn an emerald mask. One requires being chosen to train as a silver mask, rising to the status of master at that rank, and then undergoing years of training at the Great House of St. George. The other requires finding and killing a dragon in the wild. There's also information about the council, the dragon, the house, as well as the congregation of houses. There are two houses in North America, one in Chicago, one in New Orleans. Formerly there was one in New York. Central and South America, there's one in Panama City, one in Lima, and one in Buenos Aires. Europe, London, Galway, Paris, Berlin, Madrid, Rome, Istanbul, and St. Petersburg. Africa, the Great House, which appears to be on the Mediterranean coast, then one in Cairo, and then Cape Town. Oceania, Sydney, Australia. Asia, Nagasaki, Hong Kong, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Singapore. Then there's also some information with the Great House of St. George, and the Violet Mask, the Dragon King. Also the Tomb of St. George, but the White Mask does end up deciding to become a Black Mask. Presumably, this will feature in later arcs in the main book. It was actually a really neat read. To be fair, there after a point, kind of world building did kind of have to take a backseat to the overall story. Otherwise, I just feel so something like this is honestly appreciated to kind of give explanations about the world as a whole. Anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.